morning I thought I'll film a day in the life of a Type 1 diabetic to show everyone what my daily routines are. And this morning I'm starting off with a pump change. So I've got to change my insulin pump site because I've got to do that every 3 days, and today I've got to change it, so we'll do that this morning and then I'll have breakfast. So pump change is done. I've got a new pump site on. The next thing I'll do is have my breakfast. So what I do to have that is I get on my pump, and this is the little display screen. I don't know if you can see that or not. And you put in the password. Simple. I'll go down to the bolus setting and it comes up with my blood glucose reading at the moment and how many carbs I'll eat. Now, because we're going on a walk, I will dose the carbs as lower than it is, so then I won't go low. I'll say I'm having 54 grams of carbs, and then I'll press the tick, and then it will say deliver your bolus, yes. And then it ticks, then it clicks, and right now that insulin is traveling through the pump, through the tube into my site. So once that clicks, then I can go and eat my breakfast. Another thing I will say, my pump, there's a special mode that I put on before we go and exercise, and it's simply in the activity section. There's a section that says exercise, and when you click to start that exercise mode, it has a setting where if it sees my numbers trending down from a higher number, it will keep it at that higher number rather than keeping me sort of more in range, just so then I'm least likely to have a low. So that's another thing I do when we go out on walks.
Ella?
Yeah, Howson. So we just finished our walk at Coolangatta, which ended in me having a low, which is fabulous. Because I feel like it just ends it on a bad note sort of thing. So I ended up having a low, but we got back to the car, had jelly beans, and then I had to go to the chemist to pick up my order, which basically I'll show you. When I go to the chemist and I order my stuff for my diabetes, I have to order it all through something called the NDSS, which is the National Diabetes Services. And when I go and order, the things I get are my Dexcom G6 inserters, which these insert my sensor into my arm, and I get my cartridges for my pump, which hold the insulin. I get new tubing sets for my pump for the insulin to go through. I get test strips to test my blood sugar levels with my finger pricker, and I also get a bunch of jelly beans. Now, these jelly beans, I don't know if people have seen them in the chemist or not, but these jelly beans are specifically for people with diabetes because they have much more glucose or sugar in them. They dissolve easier because when you're having a low, it can be quite hard to chew things, so they dissolve easier in your mouth. And when you're chewing them, they sort of do have more of like a liquidy, like, you know, sort of that goes into your gums that will bring the sugars up higher. So if you ever see those at the chemist and you're not diabetic, go to the lolly section and pick up jelly beans. Try not to pick these up, because sometimes you can go in there and there not be any, and then you got to go to another chemist and stuff. So basically that's what I get when I go to the chemist, which that's about, like, I've got to probably order that stuff every 2 weeks. Anyway, so yeah, so we went for a walk, I had a low, picked up stuff at the chemist, and then basically now it's 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna go home and I'll have a lunch, and then I don't know what else I'll get up to. I'll see, might go for a swim and stuff like that. But yeah, another thing people always ask is, like, if I'm having a shower, I'm going for a swim, do I wear my pump? And no, the answer is no, I do not wear my pump. My pump isn't waterproof, but my sensor is waterproof, so I can go in the water with my sensor on. But with my pump, all I'll do is, on my site, I just unclip it, and then my pump comes off like this, and then I'll leave it on my bed, or I'll put it on charge if I'm in the shower to charge it, because it does need charging every night. So that is another question that people do ask most of the time. Another fun fact about me, not only do I have type 1 diabetes, but I also have something called Graves' disease, which is something to do with your thyroid, and that's when your thyroid is overactive. So with my thyroid, my thyroid flips and it's overactive and underactive. So basically what that means is I'm just on medication until I can flatten out my thyroid, and then you go off the medication. So I'm sort of always on and off the medication in higher doses and lower doses, but eventually I will end up having an operation and I'll be getting my thyroid taken out, because when you've got Graves' disease, it's genetical. So if I was to have kids when I had while I have my thyroid in and Graves' disease, it would most likely pass it on to my child. So if I can get that out before I have kids, which will happen because it will sort of happen in the next 2 years, it won't pass on to my kids. So definitely getting that done, because if my kids already have a chance of having type 1, I would not want them to also have a chance of Graves' disease with it.
because it can make you feel horrible, and it sort of knocks out your hormone levels and stuff, so you can become really emotional, go a bit depressed, be in fogs, just like almost staring at a blank wall, not really sure, can't really think and stuff. So that's another fact about my medical life. So yeah, home, have some lunch, and then might go for a swim. Right, so I just dropped my sister off. She's going, pardon the rattling. She's going down and staying with her partner for tonight. But I thought, because I'm doing a day in the life of a Type 1er, I thought I'd tell you also a fun fact for us Type 1ers. When we're driving, you actually can't drive unless your numbers are 5 or above. Like my numbers are 7.7 right now, so that's perfectly fine. But you actually can't get behind the wheel unless your blood sugar levels are 5 or above. So fun fact about that. And you've basically just either got to have some jelly beans or eat something before you drive. So yeah, you basically just got to do that before you eat. So yeah, fun fact about that. That's mostly why you'll probably see me half the time driving with someone in the car, because if I ever go low, I can pull over and they can keep driving. So that's basically, yeah. So like I do drive by myself sometimes, like I've got to obviously, and when I'll have a job further up, you know, I'll drive by myself and stuff. But so basically, if I was ever driving on my own and I had a low, I've just got to pull over and wait for my blood sugar levels to go back up above 5. And every 2 years, we also have to go and get a heap of papers signed off by doctors and the optometrist to know that we can drive by, like we're healthy enough and can drive by ourselves. So that's another thing with our Type 1ers. Just adds a cherry on top. I'm just about to go and have a shower, but I thought I'd show you guys what I meant by taking my pump off before. So all I do is I get my pump and I unclip it, and then I take my pump off and I'll put it on charge while I have a shower, and then I put it back on, and then we'll have my dinner. So basically that's that. I simply take it off and then I just plug it in to charge. And now that will start charging while I'm in the shower and go up to 100%, and then I'll pop it back on and eat my dinner. Right, so finish the shower, time for dinner. Now same routine again. Got my numbers, put my carbs in, and delivering the insulin. Yeah? So finished delivering that insulin, and now I can eat dinner. So I'm just about to head off to bed, but I thought I'll show you guys the last thing that I do before I go to bed is, and I set my pump to sleep mode, which pretty much just helps me during the night from going low or having a low during the middle of the night and waking up with one. So I set my pump to that, and then I also turn that off every morning. Basically that's the last thing I do of the day before I go off to bed. And I think I'm gonna close this video off here. I hope you guys liked this video, a bit of a day in the life of me or a Type 1er.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe and comment down below any other videos that you'd like me to do or you'd like to see on this channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.